Branding business is more than developing a logo. Branding encompasses all of the brand experiences from how it looks and sounds to what it offers and how it handles customers. Everything, yes, everything your company or blog does is branding. So you really need to define your company branding if you want to be at least a little bit successful. Why do you need to define your brand? There are a few reasons. Consistent branding evokes a sense of trust. Would you trust a person who is clearly confused on what they do, what they believe in, and what they stand for, especially if you meet this person for the first time and they ask for your money? I didn't think so. It creates a feeling of brand community. When your branding is strong and evident in everything you do, your brand becomes much more aligned with your audience. Your audience now sees and feels that you do understand them, that you are in fact one of them, and when they feel they can trust you and that you understand their needs, they'll happily give you their money. It makes you a much more effective storyteller. Again, once you're clear on your branding and your brand story, you become much more effective in telling it and conveying a sense of authenticity. Plus, strong branding helps you navigate through the business world and make better decisions. When you know what your brand stands for, it becomes that much easier to weed out projects and offers that do not align with your company's goals and values. Strong branding helps you sell more, yes. When you know who you serve and how you help them and are effective in conveying this message, you sell more. People just feel that instant connection with everything you do. Now, let's go through the questions that will help you brainstorm your branding strategies and create a strong brand presence without the need to pay upwards of thousands of dollars. So, let's start by asking, what are you good at? It's only natural that you will succeed in something you're good at. Don't start the business to be mediocre. Start the business where your potential will truly shine and where your talents will be used. What do you do better than anyone else? While on the surface, these questions are really similar, think about what you're good at versus what you're really truly amazing at. Also, think about talents and skills you have versus what people love about you. It may be your storytelling abilities, your abilities to make someone else feel special, or uplift anyone's spirits with your sense of humor. What are your aspirations with this? Think of the reasons behind why you want to start this specific business. What are your role models and why? Do you have role models in the business world or even in your own industry? Think of why you admire them. What is it about their brand that you love and trust? What are you driven by? You need to have an immense drive and passion for everything it is you're doing. The going can get tough, and it's only your drive that will propel you to move forward. How can you market this? Think about how you can best market your skills and expertise. What should your product line be? What products can you create based on the skills and knowledge? Is it tangible, informational, service-based, or some combination of all three? What is the common theme underlying all of your products? There has to be some sort of theme or aspect that unites all of your products in a cohesive line. What struggles, issues, needs does your product solve? No one wants to buy anything that is not useful in some way. Think about what types of needs, wants, or struggles your product can solve. What's the value that your offering brings? Let's be honest, there are lots of similar products offered in almost any industry, any part of our lives. However, we have a tendency to choose the brands we use by associations and values we assign to them. Now, let's define your audience. Who are your products for? Who is in your target market? No product serves any good without an audience. There has to be buyers and consumers for your products or services in order for your business to thrive. What are their demographics? There's no such target audience as everyone. Even the products all of us use every day have their respective target audiences. So define their age, location, interests, needs, aspirations, etc. Does your product align with their needs and values? This is important because people choose products based on what values they see in them. What is their ultimate goal? People in your audience strive to achieve something, whether it's financial freedom, prosperous life, or love. You need to understand their drives and desires. Plus, what are their blocks in getting there? If they haven't achieved their goal, there has to be something in their way that acts as a block, whether it's mental, financial, or physical. Identify what those blocks are to understand their struggles. How can your product help them overcome those blocks? To appeal to your audience, you have to tell and show them how your offering will help them overcome their blocks and finally achieve their goals. How much would they be willing to spend to resolve blocks and issues? The larger the block, the more money they're willing to spend to remove it. Another aspect to take into considerations are urgency, importance, and alternatives. What kind of experience should you provide? Clearly, the brand experience has to be customer-centric, but what does it mean for each individual? It can encompass a lot of sides such as quick responses, thorough technical support, lenient return policy, courteous staff, easy setup, and so on. Define everything that goes into an experience you'd like to create. How is this experience different from everyone else in the industry? This is what will set you apart from competition. Now you can put it all together into a visual identity for your brand. So think about the basic building blocks of your brand. Think color palettes, fonts, imagery, logos, and slogans. What kind of language, wording does your audience use when talking about their needs and values? This is important because you have to talk in their terms and words to truly align yourself with them. When people read the solution to a problem that is stated in exact words as they'd put it, they instantly know they found the right solution. How can you incorporate it into your branding? How can you show your understanding of their needs? Again, every aspect of your branding has to show them that you get them. Language, wording, humor, and imagery, everything has to speak directly to them. How can you strike up a conversation with them? Think of what would get their attention. It can be a question, a striking image, a challenge, or a simple "we get it" message. How can you show them that you are with them, how they can relate to your business? Hopefully, this has been achieved with the right messaging, but focus on those details that truly drive a feeling of community and brand loyalty. What is the mood of your business presence? Some businesses have to be serious and somber, while some companies can get away with a little humor. Some companies appeal to its audience with playfulness and flirt. Others have to show their sense of style and hipness. Yet other companies will not win any customers over if they're not progressive and forward-thinking enough. What kind of aesthetic do they find appealing? The mood of the business and its target audience will dictate the aesthetics of your brand presence. Financial companies rarely find value in pink-colored websites and unicorns on their homepage, although that might set them apart. At the same time, companies who target hip, urban youth would not want to use flash websites that were trendy in the 90s. Where can you target these people? What channels do they use, and how you can take advantage of this? To reach your ideal audience, you have to know where they are. You have to know what channels they use to get information and what types of content they prefer. You should also know which channels they trust the most. How can you stay consistent across all of the channels? This is a very important consideration to always have in the back of your mind. Remember that confused person on the street asking for your money in the beginning of this video. Do not disqualify all of your hard work because your social channels, your website, and TV commercials do not tie into a cohesive image. How do you know if it's working? Let's define success. To know where you're going and what you're trying to achieve, define what success means to you. What will successful business look like? What level of sales do you expect? Will your product serve a small but exclusive niche of people, or will everyone in the nation and their cat use your product? What will people say about your company? Think of all of this because this will serve as a benchmark for your activities to see if you're moving in the right direction. I have all of these questions and more in a free downloadable branding guide. Head over to the link in the description to download it. How do you define branding? How did you go about creating your brand identity? What questions would you add or omit? Share in the comment section below or head over to Instagram @LesaLeo to continue this conversation.